All right. This is lecture number 3, but we'll call it 3A. So basically, you're going to have 3A and B. You will do a quiz over. Then we'll do 4A and B, and then you'll take your test. So after this one, you'll take a quiz, and then you will do a web quest that you've been assigned. Once you finish that web quest, we'll go on to plate tectonics. All right, so first, in order to know about the plate tectonics, we got to talk about the interior of the Earth. So we've talked about the outside of the Earth, the atmosphere, not the atmosphere, but the everything outside of the atmosphere of the Earth. Now we're talking about everything underneath the crust. So there are two main types of evidence to learn about the Earth's interior. You have direct evidence from rock samples when you drill deep inside the Earth. There's a really cool video that if you search for interior of the Earth on YouTube, you'll find it. It shows how far we've dug and how deep we are going through the Earth's crust. So the deepest that we have been working with is the Kola super deep borehole, which is about 40,230 feet. It's about the size of probably a coconut, and they've just gradually been digging deeper and deeper to see the different conditions inside of the Earth's crust. The other one we know, how we know there is a core and mantle, is seismic waves. So seismic waves are produced by the earthquakes. They allow scientists to measure the speed at which it travels. So using seismic waves, we can see if there's anything that it goes around. So seismic waves actually, if you go look at it go through the Earth during an earthquake, it goes through the mantle, but once it hits that core, the core is a solid inner core. So that's how we know. So think of it shining a flashlight, you'll see a shadow. We see a shadow of seismic waves to prove that the inner core is actually solid. So there are three main layers. We have our crust, mantle, and core. Core is composed of inner core, outer core. So your crust is like your skin. So we see the skin, but we call it only skin deep. So skin deep being that the crust is going to be dry land and ocean floor. It's going to be very thin compared to the rest of the Earth's layers. The oceanic crust consists mostly of salt. Your continental crust is mainly granite. So basalt is much softer rock. Granite is much harder rock. Your mantle is basically in 3 different parts. It is 40 kilometers beneath the Earth's surface. It is divided into layers. So your upper mantle is your lithosphere and your asthenosphere. The uppermost part of the mantle is the part that is about 100 kilometers thick. It touches the crust. It moves the crust around, but we'll talk more of that when we get into plate tectonics. Asthenosphere is the softer part of the mantle. It is what is constantly moving the lithosphere. So it is hotter and there's a lot more increased pressure. Your lower mantle is solid material extending all the way to the Earth's core. So the core is made of iron and nickel. So your outer core is molten that surrounds it. So as this motion in the outer core goes around the solid dense ball of your inner core, it is what creates the magnetic field of the Earth. So like I said, about every 200,000 years, you see this change in the Earth's magnetic field. It's because the rotation of the outer core will change about every 200,000 years. And that is part A. So nice quick lecture. Now we will go on to part 3B next, and then you'll take your quiz.